Hello, welcome to another creature tutorial. This tutorial is going to cover the new motion enhancers feature that just got introduced to creature. Okay, so before we start, I'm going to show you the rig we're going to animate today. This is a basic blobby character with just a body and two eyes. Alright, and let me show you the rig. Very simple, very cute rig. Okay, just a bunch of bones placed through the torso of the body and one bone to fix the eyes. That's really all it is. Super simple. Okay? And let me show you the animation, and then you understand what I mean by motion enhancers. Now, before I begin, let me talk a bit about the new motion enhancers feature. Motion enhancers is basically a new feature that's been added to creature which allows you to enhance your current animation, your current manual FK animation. So what it does is that you click on animate and go to motion enhance, and there's all these different motion enhancer tools that you can apply onto your current manual FK animation, and it will then do a specific function, perform a specific function on your current animation splines. Okay, so your question is probably now, what's the difference between motion enhancers and the regular Moltres, right? The regular FK or IK or physics Moltres that we do. Well, with the regular Moltres, you have to install it on the bone, and essentially the motor will work on the bone or a set of bones, and you are sort of fixed to that motor for the duration of your entire animation clip. Motion enhancers, on the other hand, work in the opposite way. You can animate your entire character completely manually. In fact, it's designed for people who like to animate and keyframe their characters mostly in a manual way. And then once you're done with it, you can select your bones like this. So I'm selecting these three bones, and then you can go in and then enhance that motion with some kind of physics springy motion, or amplify it, or do something else with it. Okay, so that's what motion enhancers are. But okay, so that's a lengthy explanation. Let me just show you what I have first. So what I have here is a very simple keyframe animation. There's no Moltres installed on it, or rather it's just FK animation. Okay, and you can see in the animation spreadsheet panel over here, there's a bunch of keyframes that are set over time, right? So nothing fancy, just a really simple but boring keyframe animation. And in case you're wondering how the eyes are blinking, I did install just one kind of motor, which is the blink motor on the mesh. Okay, but that's really all it is. But for all intents and purposes, this is just pure manual keyframe animation. Okay, so nothing exciting, and now we're actually going to enhance this animation. Now, since this is like a jelly blobby type character, it would be fantastic if we could actually enhance it with some kind of springy physics motion, right? To give it more of a lifelike jump. Agree? So let's do it. So how do we do it? Well, let's select the tip bone, and then I'll press Control N, select the chain of bones coming down, and then I'm going to use the new motion enhancers tool. I'm going to click on animate and go to motion enhance, and I have a couple of options here. I'm going to pick physics motion. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is there's a couple of values I can set, like stiffness values. This is the bending energy, and then I can set how easily or difficult it stretches. Now all these parameters are fully documented on the creature documentation page, so you can take a look and decide what you want to put in to achieve the look you actually want. You can also put in a required amount of damping so that the physics simulation is stable enough and doesn't wobble too much. Okay, so you put in your start and end time, and this will basically go in and actually modify your current keyframe values into a physics type motion, but it's actually going to track your keyframe animation. That's what's really cool about it. It will actually take your current animation and then enhance it. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to click run right now and you'll see what happens. Okay, look, there's a bunch of keyframes have been dropped in, and if I play it, there you go. Now I actually have a jumping blob with a nice jelly springy type motion, right? That's kind of cool. And it's dropped everything into the keyframe, so you can actually go in and actually modify these splines however you want. So this gives you a lot of control. Now with the traditional motor system that creature has, you are controlling it procedurally. And with motion enhancers, you're doing it a more direct way. You're taking a procedural motion and then applying it directly into your animation splines. So this is a perfect tool for people who love to keyframe first and then plus the animation or enhance the animation later. Hence the name motion enhancers. Now, okay, so this was the springy motion that we did. It's kind of cool, but we can also do other things. Like, let's say you wanted to make the motion that we had less more calm, or you wanted to exaggerate it, what do we do? Well, there's other enhancers available. You can actually amplify the motion. So if I amplify it by, say, a factor of 1.5, let's see what happens. Okay. You see? Now the motion has been stretched out and exaggerated quite a bit. So that's a pretty powerful tool. I can also go the other way. I can also reduce the amount of amplification. So I can come in here and say amplify delta motion. If I say a factor of 0.5, it will calm the motion down. Okay, let's give it a go now. There you go. So now you have a more controlled motion. And again, you can apply these motion enhancers in a chain-like procedural way. That is, you can apply the physics, and then you can apply the amplify and whatnot. So have fun with that, and it's a very powerful tool, especially when you want to keyframe everything and then you want to add some kind of physics-type motion, or you want to amplify your motion later on. We're going to actually add even more motion-enhancing tools as Creature progresses in the future. So stay for the updates, and I hope you enjoy animating. Thanks for watching this tutorial.